We'll start with our problem. There are 3 prisoners in a dungeon whom are all given the chance to earn their freedom. A gatekeeper offers freedom to the first prisoner that can pass a small test. Prisoners are placed in a room, all facing each other. He then brings in a box containing 3 black dots and 2 yellow dots. At random, he places a dot on each prisoner's forehead without the prisoner being able to determine his or her own color. The remaining dots are removed from the room before the prisoner can see what's left in the box. The first prisoner to tell the gatekeeper their own color is set free, but they cannot guess. They must explain with logic how they know. The first and second prisoner are both unable to determine their color, but the third prisoner, whom is blind, is able to determine his color. How? There's a big assumption we have to make. We have to assume that all 3 prisoners are perfect logicians. Therefore, if they were to see a step or a logical reason how that they can determine the color, they would not miss it. So start out with all the possibilities of dot placements. If there were an unlimited amount of yellow and black dots, there would be 8 possibilities. But since there are only 2 yellow dots, we can exclude possibility 8. So the first bit of information that we're given is a clue. When both prisoner 1 and prisoner 2 look at the other 2 prisoners, they're unable to determine their own color. So we'll start with prisoner 1. So prisoner 1, when he looks at prisoner 2 and prisoner 3 and is unable to determine his color, that gives us a clue. It lets us eliminate a possibility. So possibility 4, where both prisoner 2 and prisoner 3 is eliminated, because logically, if prisoner 2 and prisoner 3 both had yellow dots, prisoner 1 would be able to determine his color, but he cannot. Again, for prisoner 2, we follow the similar procedure. He looks at prisoner 3 and prisoner 1 and is unable to determine its dot, so we know a couple things. The first is relatively obvious. Both prisoner 1 and prisoner 3 cannot have yellow dots, because if they did, then he would know his color logically to be black, and he does not know. But a second, less obvious step is how prisoner 3 is able to determine his color. Possibility 2. So when we step back to the beginning, prisoner 2 already knows one thing. He knows that both he and prisoner 3 cannot have yellow dots. Otherwise, prisoner 1 would have been able to determine his color. So if he sees a yellow dot on prisoner 3, he knows logically that his color has to be black and would therefore be able to determine his own color, but he cannot. So this possibility must be excluded, leaving only one possibility for prisoner 3, and that's black for prisoner 3's color. The remaining possibilities are all black for prisoner 3.